And Boomer Live, we're taking it to an ad. And boom, we're live. MMA Complete Podcast, episode 26.
I like it.
What's that?
The new promo.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I like it.
New promo. That should be our new promo for at least 3 months. I'll probably get our editor guy to do us another one in April. Shout out to Mason Belcher, SFBN RI staff member who hooks us all up with those commercials. They're all great. Shout out to him. So yeah, MMA Complete Podcast, episode 26 on the live stream. And we are just a week out from Conor McGregor's brutal knockout. What do you guys think about that?
Well, he got his legs chopped up. Well, that leg chopped up.
I think that something I said, and I don't want to shoot my own horn. I think that something I said in the podcast last week, that Conor's not as hungry as he once was.
No,
he's not as motivated. He didn't train as hard, and he got his legs cut up. And I would argue, like, if he got his legs kicked in, Poirier hit his legs like 5 times. If that happened to him when he was 25, he would still have been coming.
You should have watched the post-fight press conference, because in the post-fight press conference, he said 2 leg kicks, he was done.
Yeah.
He had a dead leg, 2 leg kicks in. So, like, he said he practiced checking him, and he said in the press conference he thought he checked him, but he wasn't. He was like, I was checking those leg kicks. I was checking them, but they were
at one point he was catching them, which it was incredible athleticism. He was literally able to just grab him twice and grabbed him.
But he was doing that out of instinct because he did not want to get kicked in the leg anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. And then once his legs started kind of being kablooey on him, he just got rocked once or twice, and then he stood still. He couldn't even move, and then Poirier teed off on him, and that was that. Yeah.
I think leg kicks had a factor, and I think Poirier. Well, you know what I said about Conor. He looked like a boxer. He didn't look like an MMA fighter, dude, at all. He looked like he wanted the box, and it's like you've been training with the wrong people, I guess, or I don't even know. You got to change something.
Poirier scored a takedown in the first round. That was points.
Yeah.
Conor did a good job backing up to the cage and getting up right away.
He did that exact
it didn't make
same
too
thing
much
with
of a
Khabib,
difference.
too.
Yeah, he didn't really land any ground and pound when he was down there with Conor. So it was really the leg kicks and his hands. What I realized, one thing I really realized was a problem. As soon as Conor got his back to the cage, that's not where Conor's good at. Conor's better center ring. That's where he can move, evade punches and kicks better.
And I'll tell you another thing that he did. So Conor's naturally a southpaw, meaning his right hand is forward. So he oftentimes keeps his right arm completely extended to get distance. Mm-hmm. Now, anytime his arm is forced back, either by his opponent or by distance, he knows he can come with the strike right away. Yep. He wasn't doing that at all. His right arm was like this the whole fight. It's like the first fight we've ever seen him do that. Like, he didn't have his arm extended at all, which is his thing.
He looked like a boxer, dude.
He looked like a completely different fighter, and obviously not a good one.
Not a good one, and maybe not prepared.
So we put this up on the...
He said he had some ring rust.
We put this up on the MMA Complete Podcast Twitter. Who do you guys think is his next fight? And I know your guys' answer, but I just want to talk about the other.
Conor's next fight?
Yeah, Conor's next fight. So me and Mark both said Nate Diaz. You said Tony Ferguson.
I said Tony Ferguson.
There was another name on there that I'm surprised you guys didn't even think about.
No, I did.
Islam Makhachev.
Go to the tweet. Go to MMA Complete.
Islam Makhachev is a great fight for him, I think, because 1, Conor would look to fight someone lower ranked than him so he could get a win. 2, if Conor beats Islam Makhachev and then immediately calls out Khabib, that's probably his best chance of getting a rematch against Khabib. Which I don't even know at this point if he wants to.
So in the post-fight press conference, somebody read a tweet to him that Khabib made. Khabib tweeted that he left his gym and he just looked like ass because he fucking wasn't with his boys. And he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. I also saw something in the presser that someone mentioned Khabib to Conor, and Conor was like being smug. He's like, yeah, well, you left and I'm still here. So like, what are you even thinking? Like, if you want to come back, let's make the fight.
Yeah, well,
The
because
fucking nerve
Islam-
to say that after you
Islam-
lose to Poirier.
it was
Islam
because
Makhachev?
because it was kind of a personal blow towards Conor.
It was, yeah, but he has no business calling out Khabib at all.
I think he's right to say that about Khabib, though. He's in the prime of his life. Why are you running?
he's not running.
Yeah, I think he is. I think
Who?
he is. I think he's
Khabib.
running.
In
I'm
the
not.
running,
I'm not
what do you
saying he's
mean?
running from anybody. I'm saying from
He's not
that he's
running.
running from the small chance that his record could get a stain.
No.
That's a
definitely
fair
not.
argument. I don't know if I would
Just
call
an
it
opinion.
running.
Just an opinion.
I would call it retiring, which
Yeah.
I don't think is running.
In his prime, that to me, I just can't. I can't.
GSP did
It
it.
makes me sick. It
GSP
does. It made me,
did do it.
It made me sick with GSP,
Twice.
but he also came back.
I know.
5 years
Khabib-
later.
He's gonna
Khabib
come
He
back.
will come back.
Yeah.
It's
4
just
years
a matter
later,
of
whatever it
time.
was.
You know.
I agree with you. I think that I would never say that Khabib's running because I don't think Khabib runs away.
Maybe
from
that wasn't the
fucking
right
anybody.
word for it, but
He's
You've been saying
separating
he's running
himself.
for a while.
protecting his record.
He's
That's what I think
separating
doing.
himself from losing. I totally understand that, but then you have to realize, like, in his quotable excerpts with Dana White, he's talked about like, Dana, just fucking say it to me. Like, I am so much ahead of all of these guys. Like, it's not
Yeah.
even comparable,
Yeah.
which is really what it
It's
is.
kind of true.
Like, look at the state of lightweight rankings when he left.
All right.
Connor beat Tony. He was never gonna fight,
Yeah.
but he just beat the guy who beat Tony,
Yeah.
beat Gaethje, beat
That's
Poirier.
To-
Sorry, go ahead.
I think Tony should face Connor. Since we're on Tony.
Right.
I think that would be a good fight. I
Tony
think
deserves it. Tony's gonna get mad. He's gonna get a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he's the one that I explained this to Zach before. Zach knows he's had 12 fights. He won 12 fights in a row without a title shot.
he got fucked.
He deserves.
I really
to
do
get,
think
he
he got
deserves
fucked.
to get paid.
But
He already
deserves
did
it.
get paid. He got paid while
No,
getting
he
his
don't.
ass beat against Gaethje. He got paid for that.
This will be
he did get paid for that.
not nearly as much as
It was the fight of the night.
That might be
No, of
third
course
highest
not.
pay per view.
But does he deserve a fight against Connor now? I don't think he does.
I think Connor should
That would
fight
be a
Diaz
great
because
fight.
it'll
He's
be a
gonna bring him
good
to the
test to see.
ground.
I don't see how Connor's next fight, if he has another fight in MMA, which I'm totally not sure he will.
I think he will. He said
If he has
in the
another
post-fight,
fight-
he said he will.
If he has another fight, I don't know how it's not Nate Diaz.
It
I
should
don't
be
know
Nate
how
Diaz
that is
at
not the next fight
155.
tonight. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Might be Nate
I think he
Diaz.
Sells
can beat him at
tickets.
155.
It finishes a trilogy. Connor thinks he can beat him because he already has beaten him. So he's like, yeah, fuck it. I'll
He
take
should beat
Nate
him,
Diaz.
and Nate Diaz might win that.
At
fight.
155,
Right.
no. At 170, yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I give it to Connor.
Dude,
155.
you know Nate Diaz. is-
Yeah, he's got an iron dome and he can take punishment and he's good on the ground.
I wouldn't
He's a
even say he has an
kickboxer, too.
iron dome.
But
He's a kickboxer.
Connor's
He's
boxing.
not really a kickboxer.
He has an iron dome. That dude's not been knocked out cold. I don't remember him ever getting knocked out cold. It has happened, I bet, but
No.
I've never seen it.
That was probably quick of me to say because he got dropped by Connor, but he
Yeah.
didn't get knocked out cold.
No.
He took a beating, and that
He
takes
did
a
take a
lot to
beating.
take a beating. But
Right. Now, do you think if they were to fight a third time, do you think it would be lightweight?
Yeah, at 155, I heard.
Right,
it from
because Connor would
somewhere.
probably
because
have the last say.
Conor-
Connor would probably be the matchmaker.
That's just money for Diaz.
Right, exactly.
And Conor-
Diaz needs that fight more than Connor does.
Connor moved up to
definitely. Oh, yeah.
170 last time, so it's Connor. Everything's in Connor's ballpark.
So Connor's record at welterweight is 1-1, and his record at his record at lightweight is 11-3, and his record at featherweight's like 10-0.
Really, that high at featherweight?
He's
No,
never
definitely not
never
10-0.
lost at featherweight.
Definitely
No, he's
not
never
10-0.
lost at
Definitely
featherweight.
not 10-0.
No, like I'm serious. Like from the point he started
No,
to his knockout of Jose Aldo, that was all featherweight. And he never lost.
Yeah, but and then he's 11-3. You said
11-3 in lightweight. He's lost
He's
to
fight 14
Poirier,
times.
Nurmagomedov. He has a 20. No, this isn't just UFC. I'm talking his whole record. His
Okay.
career record is 22.
Okay,
and
I was
5.
getting confused. Okay, so he's 1-3 in lightweight.
No,
What
he's
is he?
like
He's not 11-3
no, he's like 10-3.
in the lightweight.
Yeah, he has 22 mixed martial art wins.
Really?
Yeah.
11 lightweight, 10 featherweight, 1 welterweight.
Damn, this motherfucker, he got fucked up.
Well, he's 10-3.
Connor was good until
yeah.
Nate
He should've
Diaz
went
beat
to
him that
boxing.
first time.
That was the first time we'd
Yeah.
ever seen him lose. was Nate
Except
Diaz.
for way back, which doesn't count.
Right. No, I'm saying the American UFC regular casual viewer.
Yeah.
But like in the UFC, he's only lost to Nate Diaz, Khabib, and now Poirier. That's
Mm.
it.
The
Which,
Poirier-
not for nothing, are pretty. I mean, Nate Diaz is the worst fighter on that resume to lose to.
But
And that's a
how?
great fucking worst guy to lose to. That's
the thing
a great
about
fight.
Conor that it wasn't as bad of a loss from him during that fight as it was to Poirier. This fight is because it was at 170.
And it was short notice.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. And then he fought him again at his true weight and he won.
Yep.
So that's like, you want to talk about Khabib not wanting to fight people because he doesn't feel the need to. Does Conor even feel the need to fight Nate Diaz? I mean, it's a money fight for him, which I think intrigues him more than the actual challenge of fighting Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
Because that Nate Diaz fight, I said this before the Poirier fight, like that fight was going to go to the number 2 grossing pay-per-view, which it did.
Yeah.
If Conor fights Nate Diaz for a third time, that will now be the second highest grossing pay-per-view.
Probably.
ever.
People are
Yeah.
going to want to see what happens with Conor. Does he
Absolutely.
fall flat or does he come back?
And I hope we get to see some press conferences for that. I hope we get to see Conor and Nate talking shit like it's 2015.
Conor's more in his element when he talks shit. That's part of his fight game,
Absolutely.
which is the thing
When he
that
gets in fucking
found
people's
odd,
head.
But
yeah.
his skills were fucking off. I said his
his
skills.
the biggest
did not
problem
look
with
up to par.
the biggest problem is he didn't check Poirier's southpaw leg kick, front leg,
I'll tell you what.
because he hadn't dealt with that before.
He said it was hooking around it. He's like, I don't know, it was like hooking around it.
He just
I'll
didn't
tell you
train
what.
on deflecting that kick.
Nate Diaz can fucking front kick. Nate Diaz can leg kick. I mean, Nate
That's
Diaz
what I mean. That's
is
what I'm
much
saying.
bigger.
He's
He
a-
has a much better distance.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
But
a kickboxer.
If Conor can learn to check that kick properly, because it wasn't hitting his bone, it was hitting his muscle, he said. And his muscle swelled up like a football.
Right. That's why when we see, like, if we watch fights, we often are like, I don't know if we actually are if that is an actual checked kick. Because a lot of times you see the fighter just bring their leg up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring their leg up. It's not that simple. You have to kind of
It's
turn
either-
it out
Yep.
so they hit
exactly.
you right in the front.
That's
at
what he
the
said.
bone.
That's what he said.
That's like if you go Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman. I know it's the most extreme example, but it's also
Yeah.
it's
The
a
reason why
picture
you check.
perfect fucking leg kick.
Check.
Like
check.
check. Excuse me. Check leg kick.
God bless.
Chris Weidman puts his right leg up and he turns it.
Yeah.
And Anderson Silva's left leg hits it dead in the middle. And when you have that 180 degrees hit, that's when bones fucking break. which is
If you
exactly
don't,
what
if you don't
happened to
know what we're
Anderson Silva.
talking about, look up Anderson Silva leg break.
If
on
you don't know what we're
YouTube.
talking about, look up UFC 164 and fucking beware. Be aware of
It's
the
gnarly,
graphics.
guys. His whole leg wrapped around the other guy's leg.
It might have been 168 actually.
Either way.
I was just talking to my dad about that, about the Conor knockout.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same scale because Anderson Silva got knocked out. This is the first time he got knocked out. But if you want to talk about Conor McGregor's fucking slump picture in the ring, and Anderson Silva slumped on the canvas when Conor McGregor or when Chris Weidman moment.
He might go into freak mode.
Yeah, I think there's
It was
Conor will fail or he will rise much stronger. That's the only way it goes.
I think it's 6 months.
I think we do.
I think Conor was already looking past Poirier, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Probably. That's always a big issue.
And I think that he's going to schedule that fight 3 months out so he can get an even better training
It's
camp.
about fair.
So
Yeah.
I don't think he fights till like September,
He said he will fight in
maybe
2021.
August. He will fight
will.
again in 2021.
will.
Right. Yeah, I think it's Nate Diaz. But I think Islam Makhachev is a great name to watch because I think that intrigues him about getting a potential Khabib rematch.
Put him against
Nah,
Ferguson.
he would lose.
Islam.
I think Ferguson is good too. Oh, Islam Makhachev. I think that's yeah.
Who knows? Dan Hooker might have retired. I'm not sure.
Right. But that's a great segue. Let's talk about the other fights that we had because the main card was fucking stellar. UFC
Yeah.
257.
The co-main was also stellar.
The co-main was great. Michael Chandler made his debut and almost did it as quick as it just took me to say that sentence. You know,
One
2
punch.
minutes, 2.5
One punch.
minutes exactly. One punch. First punch he landed. It was technically the first head
Yeah,
punch he landed.
yeah, real punch.
The way he set it up was so beautiful because he was backing down Hooker. Hooker was going to his right, Chandler's left.
Yep.
Chandler set up a right body shot, which Hooker moved his arms down to block.
Dude, he got fucked.
And as soon as Hooker swayed to get out of the position, Chandler landed a picture-perfect left hook, dropped him.
It was a left, it wasn't a right.
It was a left hook that dropped him. Right body shot, left hook.
Yep.
And it was so beautiful. Dan Hooker he looked flummoxed.
He crumbled like a bag of potatoes.
He absolutely crumbled. He did not have a good time.
Not his fault. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
that shit.
I'm geeking because Mazadov's trending on Twitter right now,
Okay.
and I went to go look at it, and I'm like, ooh, maybe it's some like crazy, like maybe he's got a fight coming with like Kobe Covington.
Mhm.
Maybe it's announced, and it's just announced, and it's trending, and it just started, and I clicked on it, and it's training with Jake Paul.
Yeah, yep, that's right. He is training for Ben Askren.
Yeah,
Wait.
training with Jake Paul.
Teaching him how to knee in the face.
Yeah. Look at that.
You know,
This
Jorge's
is
probably getting paid more money to train Jake Paul than he did to beat
Oh,
Ben Askren.
That kid has a lot of money.
Dude,
He has a lot of money.
He has like fucking like
It's in the tens
And
of
I'm
millions.
he has like 20 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, and you can't forget all the events that he has.
Ben Askren has already gone on record in saying that his payout for his boxing fight against Jake Paul will be much more money than he's ever made in that UFC. Or
Yeah,
in
but
MMA.
the guy's like a superstar, an internet superstar.
Absolutely crazy.
And if for those of you who don't know, as of right now, the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight is off.
Yeah, so that fight is getting postponed. Postponed by Logan Paul. Yeah. Well, apparently the source that I read was that Mayweather just wasn't interested in fighting Logan Paul anymore.
There wasn't enough spotlight.
Like, it wasn't a lot of ticket sale. Mayweather was like, dude, it's more trouble than it's worth. Mayweather's like, I'm 51-0. I got hundreds of $1 millions in the bank. I don't need to fucking do this. Maybe he's scared. Maybe he's scared of Logan Paul.
Yeah, right.
Why don't
What
we?
a bitch!
Why don't
Yo,
we just put
now
that
it's gonna
narrative
sell
out
to
there?
This
shit. Now it's gonna
This is sarcasm.
no.
You should fucking make that your next vlog. You should make Mayweather scared and he
He
pulled
doesn't
out.
vlog anymore.
He should.
has a
That would be so
podcast.
funny.
Yeah, I think
He
he
does have a
vlogs still.
podcast.
Yeah, I think he vlogs.
He
He
vlogs.
definitely does.
Move on.
Those guys probably do everything.
Right,
Move
yeah.
on.
I mean, you're a YouTuber. You literally could just wake up in the morning and record yourself brushing teeth at that point.
Mike's hilarious, dude.
They'd watch it, the kids.
But yeah, the February 20th bout between Mayweather and Logan Paul, that is officially postponed. Logan Paul says it's postponed. Floyd Mayweather says it's canceled. We'll see about if that's going to come probably in the summer of 2021. Also, I think we mentioned this last podcast, but Jake Paul versus Ben Askren boxing match will happen April 17th.
Guys, who do you got? I got
Ben Askren.
Jake Paul.
I got Ben Askren.
I really do. I got Jake Paul.
I got Ben Askren.
Well, I'll show you his.
The only thing, so Ben
I got Jake
Askren
Paul.
has better technique, but Ben Askren also has a glass chin. And that's the only thing
Does
that's not
not.
hurt him.
I don't know if he has, but
I got Jake Paul.
I got a video. I got a video to show you after this. It's a compilation of all Ben Askren striking.
Right.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. But can I tell you something else?
He did land a lot of punches.
And
got Jake
someone
Paul.
who trains jujitsu,
Can't
I think, will
believe
be able to
I'm
back
saying
me
that.
up here. If your sole purpose in a training camp to get ready to get paid is to work on your wrestling, grappling, and jujitsu, you're going to spend some time working on your striking,
Mainly wrestling.
but it's going to be as a complement to your
Yeah,
wrestling.
yeah. That definitely have to be for a fighter.
So Ben Askren has been in MMA for 20 years. When you have 20 years of using that as
He's
compliments,
been in MMA for 20 years.
he's 41 or he's 38, something like that. He's been like, all right, let's say 15 years.
Yeah.
Let's say
Let me
10 years.
see.
Let's just,
Probably 10.
let's say
10's
let's say
safe.
10 years.
what? How old is Ben?
Because he was an Olympic champion, right? He was,
Yes.
yeah.
He's 36.
Okay.
Amazing
so 10
wrestling.
years.
He went from
Say
41
10 years.
Amazing wrestling on the guy.
Right. And so he used his striking as a compliment because he wanted to keep the fight.
Born in
On the
Cedar
ground.
Rapids.
Now, if you take 10 years of kind of
University of
training your
Missouri.
boxing, and all of a sudden
It's 5'10".
you get 3.5 months to do nothing but your boxing, you're going to recover all the things that you kind of glanced over in that 10 years. You're going to resharpen it. You're going to retool it. It's not like he's learning anything else. He's just working on things he's
Yeah,
already
he is just
known.
honing his skills.
Right. And Jake Paul is now trying to he's
He
been
might
boxing.
baptize him.
He's been doing boxing
For 3
a
years.
long time.
3 years now, I think.
Something like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
He might bet.
Strict boxing, though, that's a big part, too.
Ben Askren has knocked out people that Jake Paul would never be able to get in the ring with.
TKO'd. Or knocked out. Yeah.
Sure,
TKO.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
he's taking him
TKO'd.
to the ground.
No, but he's knocked people out in Bellator in one championship.
Really? Like, punched people out?
Yes.
Like, in the face, standing?
No, like he hit him in the foot and they fell
I don't know.
unconscious.
I mean,
Yes, like he knocked them out
me
by the
just
head.
trying to picture Ben Askren throwing a good punch. It's hard.
That's fair.
With boxing gloves on, Zach.
It's fair.
It's true. Boxing gloves are bigger than MMA gloves, smaller
And they're
openings.
lighter. They're heavier.
And no,
Obviously.
they're not that
Yeah, they're
bad.
heavier.
I think that
Yeah, they are.
Not that bad.
Well, compared to MMA, they're like fucking half a pound.
I think he's gonna have a tough transition into the ring. Boxing is very different.
I agree with you. I think that Ben Askren,
There's a reason why.
there's a
chose him.
chance.
There's a
Like
reason
I
why.
said, there's a glass chin. And there's a great reason that fucking Paul chose him. That was a great
That was
selection
the best
of someone
pick
to
of
pick.
anybody.
Because he's still kind of relevant for getting knocked out.
The baddest
He's
knockout
still kind
ever.
of relevant, and he's not a great boxer. I'll give you that to you. There's a chance that how I think the fight's going to happen is the first 4 rounds, Askren picks him apart.
Okay.
And then I think in there's a chance for Jake Paul to land a fucking uppercut and knock out Ben Askren.
So
But if that doesn't happen, I think Askren just wipes him.
Okay, that's fair. Your argument is that Ben Askren being a lifelong athlete and just an all-around stud for his entire life and focusing only on fighting is the reason why he'll be able to beat Jake
Not
Paul.
only that, but it's not like he's not practiced boxing. He's practiced boxing for the last 10 years. He just hasn't done it a lot at all.
His striking, while his striking was shit against, I think it was Damian Maia that he fought.
Yeah.
Yeah, while it was shit, Damian Maia was bleeding by the end of the fight.
Mhm.
So it'd be interesting to see.
Right.
I think in the boxing ring, Ben Askren, in an MMA ring, MMA striking, I'd give it to Askren.
Can we get into that? I just want to spend 1 minute on that. Did you watch the Ben Askren Damian Maia fight?
Yeah.
That is the single most piece of injustice I've ever watched inside of an MMA cage. The 2 possibly greatest grapplers in the welterweight division's history didn't go to the ground. Literally, the two of the best jiu-jitsu artists ever did not go to the ground.
It was just trash.
For fucking 3 rounds.
It was trash.
And they suck at striking, and they were striking the whole time.
Damian Maia was bloodier by the end.
It's
I guess
crap.
that means something.
It's crap. Damian Maia won. Damian Maia beat Ben Askren. It's crap.
Fucking Ben Askren. He's a goofy dude. I like him. He's kind of just.
He's funny.
He's stupid.
You know who I can
just
see?
stupid.
You know who I can see doing stuff with Ben Askren? Chael Sonnen.
Oh yeah, well,
I feel like they have similar personalities.
Chael Sonnen actually kind of like fathered Ben Askren, kind of
Right.
because he just likes the way that he is.
In the style he is. I mean, Ben Askren's a better wrestler, but Chael Sonnen was a great wrestler, and I can see a lot of similar styles.
Oh yeah, Chael Sonnen was a better fighter though, for sure.
Yeah, he was. Chael Sonnen
Talked his way into
realistically,
3
Chael Sonnen
championship
realistically should have been the first person to be in Anderson Silva.
He could have, dude. He totally. If it wasn't for that triangle, he would have.
4.5 rounds. He shit on Anderson Silva.
What an idiot! He never should have done that fake like tap thing.
Yeah,
Never should have done that.
he tapped though. That was
he did tap, but
Yeah.
he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have done it.
So Dylan Furtado should be coming on the podcast soon. He let me know that he was probably going to be stopping by. I don't know where he is. It is 8:20. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching MMA Complete Podcast brought to you by SFBNRI. Check out all SFBNRI platforms at YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter,
And
LinkedIn,
all that shit.
and check out MMA Complete
Oh,
Podcast on
fuck
YouTube and on Twitter and all that shit. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right
a
back.
lot more things than usual, huh?
Dude, I gave you the... All right, so we're going to take a little detour. We're going to talk about UFC Fight Night 184, which will be happening not this weekend, but next weekend.
Let's go.
So that fight night will be headlined by Alexander Volkov versus Alistair Overeem, the heavyweight bout between number 5 and 6th ranked, respectively. Overeem number 5, Volkov number 6.
Yep.
Volkov coming off of an impressive win against Walt Harris that happened at the back half of 2020.
Take his ribs in.
And Alistair Overeem with a knockout victory over Augusto Sakai, the kickboxer, the up-and-coming kickboxer. So both of these guys have, I'm pretty sure they're both, no, Overeem's on a 2-fight win streak. Volkov's on a 1. Overeem is 40. Volkov is 32. Volkov will have a slight reach advantage. Volkov's pretty tall. He's like 6'6".
Yeah, it's huge, dude.
Overeem has the experience factor, of course. Overeem is something like fucking... 34 wins, 47 and 18.
By the way,
Volkov 32.
Dude, he was fighting in pride, wasn't he?
When he was 22, and he's only.
Happy birthday, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh yeah. By the way, everybody, it's Zach
Zach's
Drapo's
birthday
birthday.
today.
He's 23.
23.
Cheers.
My
Cheers to the
birthday
beast.
last week. My birthday last week. Zach's this week. So, yeah. Cheers to that.
Yeah. So, anyway, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Photo.
So we have Alistair Overeem versus Alexander Volkov in the main event in the In the co-main event, we have Corey Sandhagen versus Frankie Edgar. The up-and-comer versus the veteran who's past his time. Corey Sandhagen, the heavy favorite.
Heavy
Favorite. Corey Sandhagen will
Heavy.
win. Sandhagen, fresh off a loss against Maurice? I'm pretty sure Sandhagen just lost to Maurice, but it could have been...
Corey Sandhagen.
Corey Sandhagen did just lose to Maurice in the fight night on October 10th. Before that, he also lost to Aljamain Sterling. So this guy...
He actually won that fight, it looks like, Zach.
No, he won that.
He
won,
beat Marlon Moraes. Thank you.
and he lost to Aljamain.
He did
Sterling.
lose to Aljamain.
Right. So he
Uncertain.
beat Moraes, and now he's fighting Frankie Edgar. That's a little questionable because I would think after you beat Moraes, you're looking for a top 5 fighter.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no way that Frankie Edgar is top 5 in the bantamweight division, right?
Nah, not at bantamweight.
No, I think he's probably like 10.
He's
Did
very
we talk
old.
about Chandler? We didn't.
Yeah, we did. Frankie Edgar's 4th in the
Did he?
bantamweight division.
4? Holy shit.
Wow. All right. So Corey Sandhagen, number 2 in the bantamweight division versus Frankie Edgar, number 4 in the co-main event. That
Dude,
co-main event just got way more interesting.
That bantamweight division needs some stacking on it.
Yeah, it does. Well, if you look at those names, those are fucking stacked names. They're just all past their
I know
prime.
Dominic Cruz.
That's Peter Jan's.
Jimmy
division.
Rivera past his prime.
Marlon
Marlon
Moraes
Moraes past
Yeah.
his prime.
Division.
Aldo past his prime. Rob Font's on the up and up. Cody Garbrandt needs to get healthy. Sandhagen is up there, and he's at his prime. Asuncio's past his prime. Cruz is past his prime. We ever had Wallace Willie we watched in May or something like that.
We did.
And we picked against him, and he absolutely wiped the floor with whoever the fuck he picked.
Yeah.
Really, you got a good memory. Where is he?
I just remember that last name, Wallace Willie.
Walsh Willie.
Yeah.
I do now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember it now.
Wow, I remember that name.
That's a last name.
Walsh Willie.
So that's going to be a decent fight night coming up. There's also a couple other names if you look at the prelims for Fight Night 184, which will be happening February 6th. Not this weekend. We do have a weekend off of UFC.
Yeah, no fight night this week.
Cody Stammen versus Andre Ewell is going to be another good fight in the bantamweight division. And then we also have Beneil Dariush versus Carlos Diego Ferreira in the lightweight. Carlos Diego Ferreira 17-2. Beneil Dariush has been he's been a vet. He's been in the division for a while. I think he's just coming off a win maybe 2 months ago. I remember watching him, or I remember hearing about his fight. Yeah, so he just beat Scott Holtzman in August. So not a couple weeks ago, but close enough. And then also in the prelims of that fight, we have Michael Johnson versus Clay Guida. Clay Guida making
Michael Johnson. I remember that name.
Clay Guida making his long-awaited return to the UFC.
Ooh.
Clay Guida he fought last year in June. Did you know that? Clay Guida got fucked up.
I didn't know Clay Guida was even fighting anymore.
Wow, he fought BJ Penn in 2019. What?
I thought BJ Penn was only getting into bar
In
fights.
May?
And he beat him?
Dude, BJ Penn is 16-14 in his
Oh.
MMA career.
Wow.
That's fall from graces, man.
Wow.
He used to be GOAT status.
Dude, BJ Penn was like arguably the greatest lightweight ever until he ran into GSP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he beat Matt Hughes twice.
Dude, Matt Hughes was amazing.
Matt Hughes was the greatest lightweight ever until the new generation.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
it was.
when in the dark ages, in the early years, Matt
That's
Hughes
really
was
what it
the
was.
fucking lightweight.
He had like a record of
It was
37.
him. Who was-
fucking what? I don't even
Who was
remember.
the black dude with the dreads that Matt Hughes power bombed?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I don't know, though.
Carlos Newton. Carlos Newton was a really good champ, and then Matt Hughes fucking dropped him on his ass while being choked out.
Oh,
Won the
from
championship.
on the top of the
On
cage?
the top of the cage.
Dude, that was brutal.
Both
and then
guys
he
were-
woke up and he was
Yeah.
like, I won.
He
Yeah.
woke up, and Big John was raising his hand. He was like, "What?" Yeah. Good times, dude. That's one of the greatest knockouts in UFC history.
Yeah, it was.
That's when
BJ
UFC
Penn
was
16-14.
so lit,
That's so bad.
You could watch UFC on Spike.
So yeah, Clay Guida will be coming back to fight Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
Michael Johnson's gonna win that fight. Michael Johnson's going to win that fight.
Oh, yeah, there's no way Clay Guida wins.
There's no way. Michael Johnson he should still be ranked. He was very prominent. He has a lot of power. He's like a Kevin Holland, except a little smaller.
I know. Do you think heavy?
Hey,
Yeah, I would say heavy favorite. I would guess.
Speaking of Kevin Holland.
Yep.
What's up on the board for him?
That's a great question because there's being a lot of UFC middleweight fights being announced, and Holland is not on there yet. And I think Holland, he just won 5 fights.
Yeah.
He won. He was number 3 for Fighter of the Year, and so I think he probably wants to take a little break. I'm sure he's going to get back into things around like April would be my guess. But you have Kevin Holland, who's ranked 10th.
10th.
And then you have Gastelum, Uriah Hall, Marvin Verratti, Darren Till, Paulo Costa, Robert Whitaker. So 7 of the 9 guys in front of him already have matches set up for the next couple weeks.
That's crazy. I got Kevin Holland beating Uriah Hall out of that group. Jack
Uriah
Hermanson.
Hall is fighting Chris Weidman soon. Uriah Hall is fighting Chris Weidman at UFC 258.
Chris Weidman
February
ain't even on the
13th.
list, though. Yeah, wow, he's number 11. Chris Weidman.
Not that bad, dude. Not that bad.
Not that bad, no. But yeah, that's what I figured it would be. That's probably going to get closer. Oh no, it's going to get farther apart.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
In the 3.
So like Jack Hermanson would be an intriguing fight to fight Kevin Holland. I don't know. Although I don't know if Colin would want to do that because I think Hermanson is looking to get back in the win column, and I think Hermanson would be able to beat Holland. I think Hermanson would.
You think so?
Yeah, Hermanson's fucking tough, man. Hermanson got dropped by Verratti and then came back for 3 rounds. Lost them all, but he came back for 3 rounds and fought the whole time.
I think in I don't know. I think in the points game, Kevin Holland will just use his length.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He doesn't have that big of a reach advantage against Hermanson. Hermanson has a great reach himself.
Yeah, Kevin Holland's big, man. He's got a huge reach.
Kevin Holland, I would love to see Kevin Holland fight a Derek Brunson.
Dude, yeah.
That would be a fight that intrigues me. By the way, shout out to Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson joined the We Rise podcast by SFBNRI, hosted by Todd Chattel and Jared Tillinghast. If you are watching this on any SFBNRI platform, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, go check out that. That's We Rise podcast, hosted by Todd Chattel and Jared Tillinghast, featuring Derek Brunson. Derek, if you're by any chance watching this, we would love to have you on the show, possibly to talk a potential matchup against Kevin Holland or whoever. But yeah, I would like to see Kevin Holland come back soon.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. I mean,
Dude,
he had such a nice year last year.
He looks like he's the fucking future of the division. He looks like the next Adesanya. Not only physically, but he literally looks like he has a career trajectory of Adesanya.
Yeah, well, you keep taking fights like that, man.
When
the
you
UFC
knock people out from your
you.
ass,
Yeah,
knock people out like Jacare from your ass, like you're gonna be doing well.
that's crazy. Never seen it before.
All right, so what else we got? So we did talk about Chandler. We haven't really talked about the lightweight division though, which when's the last podcast we had that we didn't talk about the lightweight division?
I don't know, dude. Lightweight is stacked.
The lightweight division is the best division in the UFC, and it's really not even close.
Yeah.
We can talk about, all right, let's do this. UFC 258 coming to you live February 13th. We will be live streaming, broadcasting reactions as we do for every pay-per-view. That pay-per-view will be headlined by Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. This fight was supposed to happen in September, and then it was supposed to happen in December. Now we seem to have a date fixed for it, February 13th. Kamaru Usman versus his longtime friend and training partner, a man he's claimed he's gone 200 rounds of sparring against in camp.
That's crazy.
Gilbert Burns Durinho, who is now, as far as Kamaru Usman's concerned, one of the best fucking all-around fighters we have seen in the UFC.
Yeah. He's,
I think, number 3 right now, pound for pound. I'm pretty sure he might be 4, though. He's 5 pound for pound right now. He's great stand-up. He has so much power. He's a tremendous wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
He gives no space on the ground.
Probably his best aspect.
And then we saw against Masvidal, he's amazing in the clinch. He doesn't give you a fucking inch in the clinch. And then you got Gilbert Burns, who is just a straight savage. Is looking for knockouts. Is looking to fucking put that right hand through your face.
That's what makes a fight so risky, is that it could always happen.
And when you have guys that have trained together so many times that probably know what you're going to do before you do it.
Yeah.
That are literally thinking 10 moves ahead of your 10 moves.
Yeah, like this guy's key move when he's close and he's getting pressured on is to push off.
Right.
They can tell that type of shit.
And they know that. And they know when you're going to fake to your right and go left. And they know when you're going to fake a body shot to try to come over the top or maybe throw in a spinning kick.
Yeah. Or like question mark kick out of Sonya.
Right.
Training partner could read that easy.
I think this fight is going to be slow.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a slow, deliberate fight. I think we're going to see a lot of overhands. We're going to see jabs and we're going to see a lot of different shit because these guys are both very all-around fighters. But it's going to be slow, and you're going to see like 2 or 3 times people going for the fucking fences with their overhands because they caught him a little out of guard.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit. Like just in the position they didn't mean to be, and they're just going for it because they know if that doesn't happen, it's going to go to a decision, which is my guess as to what would happen. I would definitely bet the over. whatever the rounds are in this fight.
Yeah, it's
And
fair.
I think Kamaru Usman wins.
They're training partners. You know, they're gonna want to be respectful to each other.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's just the fact that they know what's coming, that they won't be able to.
I think it plays a factor, but that might actually be the reason too.
Right. Gilbert Burns is the number 2 ranked welterweight in the world, just behind Colby Covington, who still we do not have a date lined up for Jorge Masvidal versus Covington. Dana said that that's what the fight they want to do. Both men have said that's the fight they want to do. I'm sure it's a pay issue at this point. Both fighters are looking to get paid $1 million, I would assume. And, you know, they're worth it because they are big names, especially Masvidal.
With the UFC being as big as it is now, for those big fights in the top 5, I mean top 3. I saw top 3. I don't know why they couldn't pay the fighters $1 million for a victory.
It's not that they couldn't, because they totally could. It's just that Dana White has the best fucking lawyers on his payroll, and they're going to fight tooth and nail to get every cent back that they can.
That's why the UFC has been growing. So
right, and you know it's different for a guy like Conor, a guy like that he's going to fucking. They just sold $3 million in pay-per-view buys.
Yeah,
like just like that. Not even including sponsorships. Nothing like
that's Masvidal.
You know that Conor's going to make that. You don't know that Masvidal versus Covington can do it.
No, 100% no.
Right.
100%.
They haven't advertised Covington enough. They really haven't.
Here's the thing. When you talk about McGregor's impact on the popularity of the sport, you don't have to worry about the diehard fans. The diehard fans know when Conor's fighting, they're going to watch. The diehard fans know when the good fights are watching, they're going to watch every pay-per-view anyway.
Yeah.
When it comes to the casual fan, the 99% of the people out there, because so
we
few
see
people
it on Facebook,
right, and see that there was no advertising for the McGregor fight, which is
that was
for a different day.
Kind of crazy.
There was no advertising. When you got a guy like Usman versus Burns, who the hardcore fans are like, oh, training partners, really great welterweights. Kamaru Usman's one of the best ever. We have to watch this fight.
Yeah.
Casual fans are like, I don't know who either the fuck of these guys are.
Dude, you don't. If you're a casual.
Now, the casual fans know Masvidal a little bit because he had the thing with Askren, and then he had the thing with Nate Diaz and The Rock.
The thing with Donald Trump.
Covington had a thing with Donald Trump.
Yeah,
too.
he stole it from him.
I think that is the best marketing standpoint to make for that rematch. I think, I don't think you have to bring Trump involved in it at all. But I think you can have the fact that they were both engaged with it politically. And then you can say how the bad blood escalated there, even though it started 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When they were training partners, because that's true. Masvidal and Covington lived together 10 years ago and were training partners.
There is bad blood?
Yep. Yeah, there is bad blood.
Oh, there is.
I don't know if it's real, but they talk shit to each other over the internet. 100%.
Sounds like we have a wild Dylan coming in.
Well, man, he finally shows up.
Awesome. What do you grab me a beer?
You're good. You're only 40 minutes late. We got 15 minutes left.
Sorry, fam.
He brings a sleeve of Fireball.
Wow.
Jesus. What up, buddy?
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Happy.
Thank you.
Motherfucking birthday.
Oh, man, don't leave him hanging. Don't leave him hanging.
Oh, thank God. That hurt.
Dylan's joining us. So, all right. We've talked a lot tonight. Is there anything I want to hear you sum up real quick? UFC 257.
UFC 257. It just sucks to say, but Dustin Poirier outboxed the shit out of Conor McGregor.
All right, next up.
Striking wise, Conor looked good. You know, he was quick on his feet. He was countering, catching kicks, right? But as soon as Poirier turned around, got him against the cage, unloading. It was weird. It was too quick and too clinchy for Conor.
Didn't he look all right?
It looked good, clinching.
I got a good point. Sorry. I got a good point on it, I think.
What?
Do you think he looked more like a boxer than an MMA fighter?
Who?
McGregor.
I don't.
No.
I think he looked like a boxer.
No, he looked like an
I really do.
fighter. No.
I do.
Boxing is an art. MMA is just a brawl.
Yeah.
No way.
Jake Paul.
Okay, that's
Paul
a Jake
said
Paul
that.
quote. Okay.
Jake Paul said that.
Not Zach Draper quote. Thank
No.
God.
I don't know.
no,
He didn't
no.
look like himself, dude, at all. Like he tried to go for the punches and it didn't work. Like
Second
he
point.
took a
Who is next for Michael Chandler?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. But Hooker should not be 8th. Ranking, I'll tell you that.
He should be lower.
Yeah.
About the fact that Connor's 6.
Yeah, that's about right.
Who do you
I'd
think
say.
should? Who do you? All right, well, you got to answer the question first. Michael Chandler. Who does he face next?
Probably Oliveira, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd like to say
Yeah.
Oliveira.
Yeah,
agree.
that's what I mean. Agree. That's what I
Absolutely.
mean.
Who does Connor fight next?
See, I was thinking.
You can ask
throw
yourselves
this-
that on the MMA Complete Podcast Twitter poll out now.
There's
I was
polls
going to
out.
throw this out there. Holloway.
No,
No.
stop.
Why?
Because that
Holloway's
just makes
off a
sense.
bullshit loss for his belt.
Well, he's not just off a bullshit loss. He just fucked up Calvin Qatar.
He did, yeah.
But he was
did fuck
screaming,
him
"I'm
up.
the best boxer."
But like,
in the UFC.
but like,
Yeah, I-
Holloway's belt's not even up for grabs because Volkanovski Ortega is happening in April.
Damn, that was a shot in the dark. I'm not
So-
gonna lie. Credit to you there.
Yeah,
That was-
it was a shot in the dark. It
No,
was a shot in the dark.
because they fought
Respectful
before.
shot.
Oh, yeah.
back in
Yeah, 150.
They fought in 2013.
That was at 155, right?
It
Yeah,
could
they were
be
light.
Holloway.
They looked light.
Yeah, Max
If you
Holloway's
had to
lost both his
choose,
fights. at
if you had,
lightweight.
all right, this is what's on the Twitter. That
Isn't
he
that
posted.
crazy? Holloway
don't
has
think-
such an amazing record at featherweight, but he's lost both of his fights at lightweight.
Shouldn't have gone.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
He's like 5'11". He's still taller than
He
everybody
needs
in the
it-
lightweight
He needs his
division.
speed. He
He does.
needs his speed.
Is
He
he
does.
taller than Ortega?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, I think so.
I think Ortega's only like 5'8" or something.
It doesn't matter because Holloway fucked up Ortega like only Calvin Qatar knows.
All right,
Yeah.
Only Calvin
Only
Qatar knows
Calvin
how
Qatar
bad
knows.
Ortega got fucked up.
ready?
That poor dude. 400 and what?
You got to choose
67?
between these 4 people because this is the poll on Twitter.
For who?
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor,
Okay.
Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson, Islam Makhachev, Manny Pacquiao. That Manny
Pac-Man.
Pacquiao's out there. That's a
See, I
wild
heard
card.
something. Or did you guys repost the thing about the only thing that would get Khabib back?
He's Makhachev.
Is
I
Makhachev.
retweeted that, yeah.
Right. See, I don't know.
That
I'd
makes
like to
sense,
see
doesn't
Makhachev
it?
get out there.
What if Conor knocks out Makhachev and talks shit about Russia and shit and actually
Oh,
goes
no,
back to 2016?
no,
That
no.
could- that
Khabib's
could-
like,
no,
oh
he
fuck
won't.
yeah, all right, I'm
That
coming
could
back.
drop
He
him.
won't.
back.
He won't do that.
No, I don't think he would.
I don't want to see a
He won't
Khabib
do
v
that.
Conor match though, because Khabib wins 9 times out of 10. I think.
I agree with you. So who do you want to see Khabib fight? Don't say GSP. It's not
I
happening.
want to see GSP v Khabib,
No, you,
but
It's not happening.
who I
Teresa
want to
Hudo,
see him
Amanda
fight
Nunes.
depends on the current events. If
Teresa.
Michael Chandler can beat Charles Oliveira, that shows he and defend against his ground game. That's
Yeah.
big, and even put him on the offensive, which I think Chandler can do with his wrestling. Then I want to see him beat Dustin Poirier. If he
Yeah,
beat Dustin
yep.
Poirier, that's enough calling for hey Khabib. Here's a badass motherfucker that you haven't beat up yet,
On the other side, if Poirier beats Gaethje and then beats Chandler,
dude.
I think a Poirier
Rematch.
Nurmagomedov rematch would be amazing.
I think he's deserving of it.
Dude,
Now,
Poirier is the closest person to finishing Nurmagomedov. He put him in a guillotine and almost had him out.
that's what I think. I mean, I think Khabib is protecting that.
He at
record.
least put him in a guillotine. He might not have almost
He's
had him out.
protecting
But he had
that
him in a
I feel
guillotine.
like there's something else, but
Well, Ali Quinto
Someone
won a
else.
round against him. So that you could say that. Justin
Yeah, and
Gaethje
then lost
arguably won a
4,
round around.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
right.
Justin Gaethje did win that round.
Justin Gaethje might have won the first round. Maybe.
so.
We're all kind of just writing off Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje could beat Poirier. Like that. That's and dude in the rematch, Poirier looked good, but it was because of his leg kicks that won him the fight. Without those leg kicks, that fight could have gone either way.
I don't know. Apparently, Conor McGregor said after 2 leg kicks, his legs were poo.
But then again, Gaethje, all he needs is those leg kicks too.
Oh, we're going to take one more commercial break before we're finishing up. At the end of the show, what we're going to be talking about what's coming up next in the year 2021. Thank you, everybody, for watching. MMA Complete Podcast brought to you by SFBNRI. Check out all SFBNRI platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook. Did I say
All-
YouTube?
Tender.
MMA Complete Podcast, YouTube, and Twitter. All that
All that
shit.
shit.
all that shit.
Let's see. Do we want to run a sauce ad or we want to run Title Town Throwdown?
Sauce and
Sauce.
Sauce ad?
Go buy the Cucina de Catharina pasta sauce. It's better than your mama's gravy. I'm just telling you that right now. Go ahead and fight me on it. 5.0. You're not going to get a better sauce out of the jar from a store than Cucina de Catharina.
Yeah, too much sauce. All right,
really
so
cool.
coming up in the year 2021, we already talked about UFC 258 a little bit. By the way, Fight Night coming up next week, not this weekend.
Edwards?
No. This is 2/6, February 6th.
Oh.
This is so it's like 9 days away. It's headlined Overeem versus Volkov. Main event or co-main event is Corey Sandhagen versus Frankie Edgar. Michael Johnson's fighting Clay Guida in it as well.
Clay Guida's
Right.
still around.
Right, exactly. All right, so in 2021, we have UFC 258, which a lot of fights have already been announced, and there's a lot of good fights in UFC 258. We have Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. Usman.
I got Usman.
Usman.
Yeah, Usman.
In the co-main event of that, we have Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall. Weidman.
Hang on. Do you think that goes to a decision because they're training partners and also sparring partners, or do you think someone gets knocked out?
I should run the distance.
They might.
This is Usman Burns, by the way.
They might actually do that just to try to get more, just to try to drum up the welterweight. I don't know. Look.
Next, so Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman.
Yeah. I
got Uriah Hall.
How old is
Chris
Weidman?
Weidman? They're both old. Uriah Hall
36, both of them.
I got
Uriah
Chris.
Hall is an 1.5 inch reach advantage.
I'll give it to Chris Weidman then. Yeah. Wrestle him. Pound him on the ground.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go Uriah Hall to be a wild card.
Also, Kelvin Gastelum versus Ian Heinich.
Ian Heinich.
I got Gastelum.
I picked Heinich before. I'm going to pick Heinich again.
Easily Gastelum.
Is that the guy from?
That's the guy who almost beat Adesanya. Gastelum is the closest person to beating Adesanya.
5 full rounds, man. He did not get. Dude.
Not 5 full rounds, 4.5 rounds.
I'm gonna go,
He walked through him.
Yeah, he did. He's the only person to ever drop Adesanya in the UFC.
Who knows at light
And he
heavyweight?
fucking dropped him.
Who knows at light heavyweight?
Right.
Gastelum.
Pedro Munoz.
Light
Pedro.
heavyweight? I'm sorry.
That's where.
No. He's just saying Adesanya's going up to light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
thought-
Jan Blachowicz, not as good of a fighter, I don't think, but the power.
Right.
Yeah.
So we only got a couple more minutes, so I'm going to kind of run through the rest of these fight nights. We got fight night coming up. This will be February 20th. We have Curtis Blades versus Derek Lewis.
Poor Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis,
yeah.
man. I feel bad for him. I love Derek Lewis, the Black Beast. My balls are hot. Curtis Blades is fucking him up, walking through him.
Watch Derek Lewis win.
Dude, anything could happen. It's a fight.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, I think it's Blades.
Yeah,
I think it's Blades.
Andre
too.
Arlovsky's fighting on that card.
yes, he is.
I think he wins.
Sure. Fight night coming up after that, February 27th. Dominic Reyes versus Jerry Prochazka.
Reyes.
Dude, Jerry Prochazka is a beast.
I got Reyes.
Who did he just beat? He hasn't beat. I don't think he's fought in like a year. Dominic Reyes' last fight was against. Is this? No, it's not okay. Dominic Reyes' last fight was against John Blachowicz, where Jan Blachowicz knocked him out in the second round. Jerry Prochazka is coming off a knockout victory against Volkan Ozdemir in June of last year.
They really need to advertise this light heavyweight division more
They absolutely do.
because
I probably got Reyes, although Prochazka is going to have a great fight.
yeah, probably.
UFC 259 is going to be happening March 6th. That is Jan Blachowicz defending his light heavyweight championship against Israel Adesanya.
I got Adesanya.
Also, that is the first.
Adesanya all day.
We all got Adesanya.
That is the first pay-per-view in a long time to feature 3 title belts. Amanda Nunes is fighting Megan Anderson for the women's featherweight championship.
We all got Nunez.
All got Nunez, heavy favorite. And then Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling is also happening on that same card. And that's going to be a great fight.
I think I
That one's
might
up
have
for grabs.
Aljamain.
That's fucking dude. That is the next pay-per-view that we're going to have a good fucking time.
Oh,
March
dude,
6th
3
is going to be
championships?
amazing.
Yeah, get that day off, everybody.
I got Adesanya, Nunez, and Sterling.
I agree.
All right, I'll take Jan.
Yep. Okay. Good for you.
Be older.
I'll take Jan.
just because.
The fight night after that, March 13th.
I mean,
It's not a bad
no
bet.
one's beating Jan.
Come on.
No one.
Jan,
No
let's
one.
talk
I
Jan
swear to
for a
God.
second.
No one's beating him.
Listen,
Faber,
Kamaev
Aldo
versus Edwards.
Who else?
UFC fight
That's
night.
about it, bro.
Nah, I mean he got there.
No, he was ranked 6th when he won the
Okay.
fucking title.
Hey, guys,
Dude,
all
he's
right.
got one
I got a
loss,
real
right?
question.
What's his
Will this
record?
fight be postponed again?
Edwards.
I'm pretty
Kamaev?
sure he might
I
be
think that
Let's
fight-
talk about Petr Yan
I've
for
been saying
just a
Kamaev.
quick
All right,
second.
We're transferring
because
back to Peter.
Piotr
Piotr
Jan also beat Jimmy Rivera, Uriah Faber, Douglas Silva de Andrade, and Jim Susan.
Cool.
Does that answer your question?
In the UFC.
Let's talk about in the
When
UFC,
did he join?
he says. Let's talk about
2016?
2017. Let's talk about Aljamain Sterling's record now.
Oh, what?
What do you mean?
He's a
what?
great submission artist.
He is a great submission artist who's faced a lot of people and beaten them. Piotr Jan 15-1, Aljamain Sterling 19-3. Aljamain Sterling will have a 4-inch reach advantage in that fight. That's pretty significant
height,
for
5'6".
smaller guys. Sterling, in this order, has beaten Sandhagen, Munoz, Rivera, Stamann, Brett Johns, and his last loss was against Marlon Moraes in 2017 when Moraes was fucking everybody up. Before that, he beat Hedin Barao, and then Brian Caraway beat him. So, in the last 4 years, he's like 6-1 against high-level competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy Rivera, because I don't know if I would say Jimmy Rivera is still very high class.
I don't feel like Moraes is.
In 2017, he was, dude. That's when he beat Aldo the first time.
Yeah, it was shit hot back then.
All
right, now will this fight get postponed again?
March 13th is Leon Edwards versus Kamaev. Before we get into this, I just also want to say that the co-main event is Jairzinho Rosenstrike versus Cyril Gane. That is a top 6 matchup of the heavyweight division.
This is the
Dude, I don't know. I might have Gane. I might have Cyril Gane.
I'm just gonna say I got Rosenstrike.
I have Leon Edwards. I also want to put that out there. I have
Leon
Edwards.
Kamaev.
I do not know who Gane is, but I
Cyril
don't
Gane?
really like Rosenstruck.
Yeah, he's kind of fat.
Yeah.
He got his ass handed to him.
He is
by
kind of
Ngannou.
fat.
Yeah, but then
I don't
he
know.
beat up Junior Dos Santos.
I don't know.
Did he really?
Yeah, he knocked out Dos Santos in the second round. He lost the first round, but then knocked out
Yeah, with the
Class Chin Dos Santos. in
Was
the
it with
second
the
round.
elbow?
No, it was
He's
just
so
a punch.
weird.
Punch one.
Oh man,
Dude, he kills people in the first round and then gets knocked out in the second round. Like his last 4 fights in a row, I'm not even exaggerating.
JDS.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
How do you think Edwards is beating Kamaev?
Unanimous decision. I think it's like 50-43.
I might have a TKO. I'll have a
Oh,
TKO.
shit.
Okay, I see it.
Second, TKO.
Kamaev?
Kamaev.
Really? Kamaev. Okay.
I got Kamaev.
He's staying with him.
I'm staying true.
Say what round?
First round.
Yeah,
First round knockout?
First round knockout. You guys are gonna be like
18 seconds.
this motherfucker.
I'll eat my words.
18 seconds.
20.
Let's look at. This is going to be the last thing I do because I got to get out of here. By the way, Ocean State Athlete Podcast will be coming up next. Check out them on SFBNRI. They're building up quite a platform on YouTube,
Ocean
so go
State.
check out that Ocean
That's the
State
state.
Athlete Podcast. I think people are getting tuned in now because they know that Ocean State Athlete is coming up. So appreciate you, Chris. Let me check out Leon Edwards' last couple fights though.
Yeah, it's been a year since he's fought.
So Leon Edwards did not fight in 2020, and his last fight was against Rafael Dos Santos,
and he beat him in the decision, which
and he
is big.
beat him in a 5-round decision. He also, in the same year, beat Gunnar Nelson 5-round decision. He beat Donald Cerrone 5-round decision, and Peter Sabata in a almost 4th round.
Those
TKO.
are some good names.
Cerrone is fuck.
He beat
Everybody.
Vicente
Yeah, he is.
Luque. Yeah, Cerrone has like 26 fights in the UFC, like the most ever.
He's like the the bar.
Nah, I don't know about the
I
bar.
don't know.
I think he's getting
Like the
old
bar
now.
from like
You can
bad to
compare a lot
good.
of fighters to Cerrone.
Yeah, okay. That sure. I'll say that.
Cerrone's like a good striker
Has he
and a
changed up
good
his
wrestler.
No.
No.
He's a
Wow.
brawler. He's
Yeah.
a brawler who lives and dies by his
He
sword.
fucking loves
Great
bars.
striker,
I
great
bet.
Muay Thai
I bet that
artist.
guy would break a bar
Oh,
stool over your
dude.
head in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, that guy would be a great guy to get a beer with. 150%. Dude, you know what? I emulate his mustache, and that's good enough for me.
I
He
know.
has the fucking handlebars.
Yeah, Zach went to college. I don't know what emulate means.
Emulate is like look up to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't think that's correct. but-
Yeah, it is. Emulate. Oh no, maybe pattern yourself after.
Yes.
Role model? Like he's your mustache role model.
Role model, sure, would be another good one. Emulate is like to follow
Give me
after.
that.
Me no education.
Gotcha.
Me no speak English.
Me way too much education. Oh,
He's graduated, by the way. Everybody give him a big round of applause.
yeah,
for
I've had a
Zach.
good week.
It has been a
had a
good
good
week
week.
for Zach.
Yeah, birthday,
Thanks
graduated.
for the golf clap, guys. I appreciate it. All right. For MMA Complete Podcast, brought to you by SFBNRI. Thank you, everybody, tuning in. Stay tuned in for Ocean State Athlete Podcast coming up next on all SFBNRI platforms. For Austin, Mark, Dylan, thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it.
yeah.
Thank you for coming to the
you.
pod. Thank you for coming last week as well. Thank you for all the ones that we're going to do 2021.
Oh, yeah.
Huge year coming up. I'm going to run a quick ad, and then we're going to get out of here. Anybody else have anything to say?
No.
Godspeed.
We're just all staring at the camera now.
All right, guys.